Man, that was so telling when LaFleur's like, we'll see how ready he is.
I'll let you know on Monday.
Honest answer right there. And, you know, I mean, maybe this is the time when you say, Dan, it's probably good that he did get some reps when Aaron Rodgers was out in the preseason, but let's all realize that was the preseason. What does the game plan look like specifically for Jordan Love on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously run the football, right? But specifically for Jordan, I think, number one, get the ball out quickly. Run RPOs that are not necessarily on watching a guy post-snap, but it's numbers. Predetermine the decision, okay, too many numbers, we'll kick the ball to the perimeter. I would live in 11 personnel. Last week I said live in 12 versus Arizona. They did. I would live in 11. Kansas City stinks on defense when you line up in 11 personnel versus them. They've gone so much offensively to an empty game in Green Bay this year. I would go back to the play action game. Empty's a lot to clarify for quarterbacks, but it's also you can get a lot of different protections or issues and pressures. I would go more play action for Jordan Love to allow him to react. I would use Aaron Jones for information. In and out of the backfield. Motion him. Is it man? Is it zone? So you have to do less thinking for Jordan Love. And the last thing that I would do is have a plan for zero. Spags is going to bring zero pressure. Always have a plan for if I get to the line of scrimmage and I think it's zero pressure, what do I do with the football? I think if you do that for him, he can go play well and they can still win the football game.
You know, playing with a backup quarterback, I play with a bunch of them. And our game plan didn't necessarily change. What we did going into that week, we took things out of the game plan that the backups can do well. You don't want to all of a sudden scrap everything that we've been working on all week long because something came up. And I think that is what Green Bay is going to do. Dan said empty personnel. Yeah, you want to empty it out because you want the ball out fast and quick, especially if they bring in pressure. I don't want play action pass because I don't want a young quarterback that hadn't played in, 2 years?
He was inactive all of 2020, and then prior to that, you're right.
Exactly. So 2 years of non-playing football, all of a sudden he's turning his back and eyes to the defense. I don't want that. Yeah. I don't want that because he's on the Autobahn now. This is not UNLV playing against Utah State. This is real big boy football. It's totally different. And 2 years off, it's a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to focus on it from a defensive player standpoint. And y'all know how I am, man. It's hard as hell to defend these backup quarterbacks, man. Especially when you don't have tape.
You're not licking your chops?
Until you figure out that we can get him in passing situations, you are not licking your chops. I guarantee it. Because your whole plan, and then, too, people forget this about Jordan Love. He got legs. Yeah. He's a dual guy. So there will be an element to this offense with that as well. But when you look at what the Green Bay Packers were able to do against the Arizona Cardinals and how they had to devise a game plan based on who was missing, they did a phenomenal job. And it goes back to what Dan said. They decided Aaron Jones was going to be the focal point. A.J. Dillon got a lot of handoffs and was able to run a physical game as well. And I think the confidence of Green Bay coming out of that game saying we can be physical at the line of scrimmage really gives them a lot of access to let Jordan Love kind of get comfortable in this game. We watched it with Dallas and Cooper Rush, right? It was the same thing. There's a formula for these guys. And then when they make a play on you as a defensive player, you like, damn, he got that too? Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they deploy him, man.
The reason, Key, that I don't want empty and I do want more play action, my empty mind goes back to when the Kansas City Chiefs played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, the greatest empty quarterback in the history of football, and he threw interceptions against them because blitzes were coming from all over the place and they were dropping. I don't want my quarterback to have to do that. I get your point of get the ball out quickly. Maybe it's perimeter screens. But I don't want that young kid to say, okay, who's coming here? Play action pass, yes, you turn your back to the defense, but you can play fast. I don't need to know the coverage. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. The more you could do that for him, I think the better he plays.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.